We're going to move on to those Philadelphia Eagles, though, and their schedule looks like this. Whoa, hold on here. My computer just broke. So hold on real quick.
I want to hear that.
Yeah, no, we're good. Eagles schedule, they look like this, including 5 primetime games, one against the Minnesota Vikings in week 2, that Sunday night football game we just talked about against Dallas, a Thursday night game against Houston. That'll be something. Washington on Monday Night Football in Green Bay in week 12 on Sunday Night Football. Dylan, you're up. We're going to go with you first here because you seem to be the highest out of everyone on the Philadelphia Eagles this year. What's the storyline for them this season?
Are the Philadelphia Eagles Super Bowl contenders? Not just NFC East. Jeez. No, not just the NFC East. Actual Super Bowl contenders. Look at this football team, okay? I mean, the amount of additions that they made in the offseason is crazy. You're bringing a bunch of Georgia dogs to that defense with Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean. And then you also bring it like the Hassan Reddicks, and Zach Pascal is a little bit underrated, but you also trade for a nice A.J. Brown who goes to that offense. Another weapon to go alongside Devontae Smith. I mean, that team is really looking good, and it really comes down to Jalen Hurts. And that's one thing that's holding me back and could potentially hold Philly back. But, I mean, I look at that roster, and I just see a phenomenal defense that, I mean, you still have the pass rush that's nice with Barnett. And also you bring in Hassan Reddick, of course. And then you have Brandon Graham and a couple other guys on that defense that are still legit. Secondary got better with James Bradbury. I mean, there's just pieces galore. Darius Slay still there. They bring in Harris, the safety. This team is good defensively. They're good offensively. I think if Jalen Hurts can just piece it together right there, I think this team could be a Super Bowl contender. They came out of nowhere the year they won and went 13-3. Also got to realize here, the Philadelphia Eagles the last few years, every single year besides 2020, they made the playoffs since the Super Bowl win in 2017.
All right. Hopefully I'm golden here. I was going through a little Spectrum tunnel, so hopefully this will work out well. But all right. So Dylan, you went a little far. I don't think you were like super off base. I actually, after going back out here, I'll pull that little curtain back that we talk about. I did my homework really late in the night, and then I got into work, so I couldn't do as much as I wanted to. And as I went back and thought about it, my records do not reflect my feelings, but it's not like a massive change. But I do believe that Philadelphia could be the team to beat in the NFC East this season. I think they've gotten a lot better, especially with that defense. And the questions that Jalen Hurts were getting last year, I don't think were as warranted as they were. I think they were a little too harsh with everyone giving up on him so quickly. The first year, I only got to play four games in a year where there was so much surrounding the entire NFL. Last year, the record wasn't what it needed to be, but there were no weapons. Like, I mean, we were talking about Jalen Reagor basically being their second receiver, and you could probably point directly at Jalen Reagor for the loss of 2 games in the end of the game that they could have gotten if a receiver makes a catch. Now he's got A.J. Brown. Now he's got Devontae Smith. Dallas Goedert's another step forward. He's a dual threat quarterback who's got a very decent arm, can place the ball so pretty. And when Jalen Hurts has had weapons, whether it be, and I know this is college, but whether it be Alabama, whether it be Oklahoma, he's had success. Nick Saban used to rave about how smart this guy was playing the quarterback position and knowing what to do. When he's got weapons, I think you see that more in spades. So the question, obviously, they still have to do it. Obviously, you can talk about what's on paper and what we're seeing with the names on the roster. They still have to go out and perform, and that might be part of the reason why I put the record where it was. But I look at this team, and I think that they are primed to take a step forward, and that step forward could be in an NFC East that every year can be a little different. They could be the team to beat this year in the NFC East. I can't go as far as Super Bowl contender yet, but I really like what they've done, and I'm looking forward to seeing them this season.
I think this team here with the Eagles, I mean, you look at their schedule, and I'm like thinking to myself, okay, how long will it take for them to get things together with a lot of new pieces on this team? Am I frozen? Am I rolling on this? Am I good? Can you guys hear me?
You're dancing around now.
Great, fantastic. Their schedule with this, I mean, it favors a team that is still trying You have your first 4 weeks: Detroit, Washington, Jacksonville, Minnesota. I mean, Minnesota's good, but like that first 4 weeks are games where you can figure yourself out and then come out of the bye, and you have Pittsburgh, Houston, Indianapolis, Washington. I mean, their schedule, their end of the year schedule, is where it really gets tough. So this really does favor a Philadelphia Eagles team who is trying to gel. But I just don't understand. I don't know. There's something that worries me about the Eagles. I mean, you take a look at the standings. I have them. I have them at 11-6. Dylan has them at 11-6 as well. Or Dylan, do you have them at 12 and? What is your standings for them? Because I don't have it obviously on here correctly.
I believe
11-6.
I got them. 11-6.
The cream of the crop of this division. The cream of the crop.
Easily.
Aaron is at 9-8, and AJ is at 10-7.
Yeah.
I don't know. This Eagles team just the biggest thing is like what AJ said. It's going to be on Jalen Hurts, whether or not he can do it or not. AJ, let me pose the question to you. If they miss the playoffs this year, are you moving on from Jalen Hurts?
I still don't think so, man. I mean, you can say that you got Jalen Hurts just because you knew you didn't have it in Carson Wentz, but I still can't blame him. Look at what we thought about with Tua when he started, and we gave him the chance, right? I'll tell you right now, I think Jalen Hurts is much better than Tua. And then the second year, he plays much better, needs some weapons. Now he has those weapons. I think this is the year that you see what he would have to play abysmal for me to think about moving on from him. But now I think what it is, you put him together, you see him play, and what are the few pieces we may need to keep moving forward? I don't think it's a get right off of him. You're still on a rookie deal. Maybe you start thinking about who you get to back him up, what veteran QB you bring in so you can start the process. But I don't think it's this is his last year in Philly. And I really do feel like the conversation that was happening about Jalen Hurts that way last year was completely media driven.
They made that trade. It's the thing that's throwing me off a little bit. They made that trade to where they have 2 first-rounders next year in case – I mean, hey, if Jalen doesn't get it done this year, they could potentially move up and get themselves a franchise guy. But, I mean, that's the one thing going in their favor is if he does suck this year, if they don't make the playoffs, there's a difference between not making the playoffs and Jalen Hurts not showing any progress. Like, if Jalen Hurts goes out there, 20 touchdowns, 14 picks, and those aren't good numbers. I think that's to be something where you're like, yeah, maybe this is the year we trade up if we really like a top-of-the-line quarterback, and it depends on how far you miss the playoffs as well. But I think this is a good team. What?
Yeah.
Vince?
I mean,
They're a great team. On paper, they're a very good
that's
team.
The important part.
On paper, defense. They're a very good team. But
I'll say this. I like a good defense on paper more than I like a good offense on paper. Offense, I feel like, is a different ball game when it comes to mixing everything together and piecing it together, the play calling, the game flow. Defense, I feel, on paper, you can go out there and say, wow, they look good, and they can figure it out. I think that's one that it's a little bit more on paper-wise, a defense than offense.